In this video, we will look at how to add a quiz activity to your Moodle course. A quiz activity allows you to test students using a variety of question types. To add any resource or activity, turn Editing on. Click Add an activity or resource in the section you would like the quiz to appear. Select Quiz from the Activity Chooser, then click the Add button. Provide a name for the quiz. This appears as a link on the main course page. Provide a description for the quiz and choose if this displays on the front page of the course. The Timing section allows you to select the date and time the quiz is available to students, if there is a time limit, and what to do when the time expires. The options are: the quiz attempt is submitted automatically with any answers the student has selected. There is a grace period when open attempts can be submitted but no more questions answered. And attempts must be submitted before the time expires or they are not counted. If you have selected a grace period, set the time in the Submission Grace Period setting. The Grade section allows you to select a grade category if appropriate, configure the grade to pass, set how many attempts are allowed and which score is added to the gradebook: the highest attempt, the average, the first attempt, or the last attempt. The Layout section allows you to configure how many questions appear on each page. Remember, if you have more than one page, students' answers are saved each time they move to another page. The navigation method can be either free, where students can navigate back to previous pages, or sequential, where the navigation is fixed. In the Question Behaviour section, you can choose to shuffle the options within questions if enabled at question level, and set how questions behave. Question behaviour options are Adaptive Mode and Adaptive Mode with no penalties, which allow students to have multiple attempts at each question while attempting the quiz. Deferred feedback is where students must enter the answer to each question before submitting the quiz. The attempt is then graded and feedback provided. Deferred feedback with certainty-based marking also allows the student to indicate how sure they are that they have selected the correct answer. Immediate feedback is where the student can submit their response immediately during the quiz attempt. They are graded immediately and can only submit one response and cannot change it later. Immediate feedback with certainty-based marking also allows the student to indicate how sure they are that they have selected the correct answer. Interactive mode with multiple tries allows the student to submit one answer. Then, for incorrect answers, students receive feedback and are provided with a Try Again button. They can use this if they would like to try a new response for fewer marks. Once the student has the question right, they can no longer change their response. If the student has the question wrong too many times, they are graded incorrectly or partially correct and are shown the feedback. They can no longer change their answer. With certainty-based marking, the question score is adjusted depending on how sure the student was about the answer they selected. You can choose if students can re-attempt questions, which is useful for practice quizzes, and if each attempt builds on the last, where a student's previous attempt's answers are filled in for them to leave or adjust. The review options control what information students are shown. The During the Attempt options are only relevant for some behaviours, like interactive, which display feedback during the attempt. Immediately after the attempt displays the information for the first 2 minutes after the quiz is submitted. Later, while the quiz is still open, applies after that first 2 minutes but before the quiz close date. After the quiz's close settings apply after the quiz close date has passed. If the quiz does not have a close date, this date is never reached. The Appearance section allows you to set if the user's picture is displayed, either as a small or large photo. This is useful if the quiz is being used in an exam setting. You can set the number of decimal places in the grades and for each question's marks, and if normal course blocks are displayed when the quiz is being attempted. The Extra Restrictions on Attempts section allows you to configure some security settings, such as a password, a network address or range of network addresses, enforce a delay between the first and second attempts as well as any later attempts, and set the browser security. If this is set, the attempt opens in a new window with no navigation controls. Students are prevented as far as possible from using functions like copy and paste. Overall feedback is text that is displayed after the quiz has been attempted and submitted. Specify additional grade boundaries as a percentage or a number, then configure the text which will be shown depending on the grade received. The Common Module settings allow you to choose if the quiz is shown or hidden when saved, has a field for you to add an ID number which is used within the gradebook, and allows you to configure a group mode and a grouping. If you configure a group mode, you will be able to sort the attempts by group. The Restrict Access and Activity Completion sections allow you to configure who is able to see this quiz and how completion is calculated if enabled. Don't forget to save changes. Now that the quiz has been created, we need to add the questions.